there's a question addressed to you. If you could answer. The question is, or anyone could also chime in, no? How do we pressure tech giants to take action when Maria Ressa, a Nobel laureate, has been doing that for years already and nobody seems to care? May magagawa ba ang mga mambabatas natin? Maria or anyone?
Yeah,
Maria.
let me take, right? So first, don't give up. That's the first step. We started this 6 years ago. I brought the first data to Facebook in August of 2016. That was when we realized how what was happening, the attacks on social media, the disinformation. At that point, it wasn't even disinformation. It's the same methodology that was used in Crimea in 2014. It's the same methodology that is used in the Philippines and around the world. Two-step. One is suppress, right? So what did they do first? Suppress a narrative. So if you're the target of attack, pound you, attack you, so you stay quiet. In media, we would say it's a chilling effect. On social media, it's Siberia, right? If you're the target of attack, first step is suppress, repress. The second step is replace, right? What did they do in 2014 in Crimea? Information operations attacked Crimeans and Ukrainians so that they took the narrative out, and then pro-Russian narratives were seeded. Those same narratives, like the Jews in Odessa, that they're being attacked, were the same ones used by Putin 8 years later when he actually invaded Ukraine. In the Philippines, the same thing. You've seen this with every single person, institution that's been attacked. I mean, the very first really brutal ones that we saw is Laila de Lima. Laila de Lima, if you remember, it was in combination with Real World, when it's it's bottom up, exponentialized, then top down. Then that mention that lie a million times, it becomes a fact, right? In Laila de Lima's case, it was actually our House of Representatives that talked about this video that turned out to be fake, that was never used. In fact, she was targeted. Lenny Robredo has been targeted since 2016. Women in the Philippines are attacked 10 times more than men. All right, so your question is really, this is all now documented. You can see the stories, the data that is there. In 2016, I think Facebook, when I gave the data, I think the people we dealt with didn't know, like literally. They were uncertain because it was all brand new. It was, it's a new discovery, and this has happened all the time in different parts of I compare it to 19th century, in the age of industrialization in the United States, when the commodity that changed economics was labor. That's when you got the production line. And then what did they do, right? You had the robber barons, the Rockefellers, and what they did is that they actually, you had to come up with laws to protect labor. Otherwise, they were exploited. So that's kind of always what happens when there's a new business model that kicks in. The new business model here is something called surveillance capitalism. In surveillance capitalism, and this is a 750-page book by Harvard emeritus professor Shoshana Zuboff. She wrote this in 2019, but it looks at how all of our data is captured by technology, becomes the core of a business model that micro targets us for advertising, right? So people talk about content moderation down here, but that's not where legislation should be. It should be move up further to algorithmic amplification. That's kind of like the operating system for micro targeting, and then move up further to the business model, which is surveillance capitalism. This is a long-winded answer. Let me just end with where the platforms are, right? As you know, right now, in the last few weeks, Facebook has been taking action. And, the problem, of course, is that when they don't take action and you normalize a lie, then it becomes much harder. And I'll use, again, because we have our own politics, let me use the United States. When they decided to ban then President Trump When they took him off the platform, it became global news. When in the end, if they had just from the very beginning, when President Trump lied the first time, if they just took him off then it becomes law, right? Because law repeatedly violated is no longer law, and you create new normals. So what we've seen is over the years, and I'll say it's been 6 years, Rappler is a fact-checking partner of Facebook. And yet I'm pretty vocal and critical, partly because we know the impact of this. If you don't have facts in a society, we don't have a shared reality, and we can't work together, meaning we can't have democracy. We can't do anything. So this is fundamental to us. Anyway, I think that what we've seen over time, in 2016, it was disbelief. 2017, between 2016 and 2018, I call it the period of impunity in so many ways in the Philippines, including in Facebook. And then in 2018, March 2018, the Cambridge Analytica scandal broke. And, the United States had the most number of compromised accounts, but the Philippines had the second most number of compromised accounts globally. The Cambridge Analytica whistleblower called us the testing ground for the tactics of mass manipulation that was used for the West. 2018, 2019, by 2020, you had all of the data starting to come out. So it's not just the Philippines anymore. You had different countries starting to look at legislation. One of the best reports that was done came from Damian Collins and the UK Parliament when they started looking at a global landscape. And then finally, just very recently, last year, Frances Haugen, the Facebook whistleblower, released 10,000 documents, internal documents of Facebook, that showed you that not only did they know this is damaging to young teenage girls in particular, to children in particular, but that the company had taken measures that put profit above safety. So this is, I guess what I'm saying is that the context has changed. And action is being taken. And I'll end with one thing on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. You know that you cannot give up. You have to just constantly keep giving data. This isn't an opinion. This is data. And then demand action. It's the same way that we have to deal with our government. You have to say, you violated my rights, and hold the line. Otherwise, you give up your rights. This, unfortunately, is the age we live in. It's the age you live in. If you care about your rights, demand your rights. If you care about safety online, if you care about facts, continue demanding it. And all we can do, like we do in Facts First PH, is that we actually can work together, collaborate together to make sure that we do all we can to protect our democracy. I'll shut up. I'm sorry, I can talk about this forever. This has been the terrorism obsession. I will pass it back, Jules.
Thank you so much, Maria Ressa. We